Yes.
And well, thanks again. It's so glad that you're here. If I may, I would like to ask you to introduce yourself a little bit.
Yes.
Then the floor is yours. Thanks.
Thank you. I'm going to share my screen, if that would be okay.
Yes.
I have a small presentation that I made, trying to keep it visual so that I keep everybody's attention, and also to keep me aware of where I'm at. So wait, let me go into presentation mode, present. So, the funded by the EU logo is not here. That's the broken image there. It's so noted for the records. It's supposed to be there. So hi, my name is Bryndís Steina, and I'm an educational specialist, project manager and coordinator in working in Fab Lab Reykjavík and Fjölbrautaskólinn í Breiðholti. It's a polytechnical school in Iceland. So I'm speaking from Iceland, but we're in the same time zone, so everything's okay. I would prefer to introduce myself as a connector, educator, and a conversationalist. I love talking to people about everything, and through the conversation, I make connections. And further along in the future, we're often connected with other sparks in the conversation. So we have a spark today bringing me to you, and my talk will be a little bit about the sparks that have been here through the years. I have a broad educational background. It's languages, entrepreneurial studies, art, education, and I'm also a owner and founder of a company that's called Núcleo. It's a design thinking driven company here in Iceland that has been researching future possibilities of mycelium for the last 10 years. Now, both in Iceland and also for Icelandic market, and in partnership with a project with industry and universities in the Netherlands for the past year and a half. I also cooperate in a European cooperation projects, and through my work at the Fab Lab and the school that I work at, one of it is called Co-Creating Greener Future, Designing Biodesign Modules to Accelerate the Green Transition, Cocoon for short. So that is the project that connects Karla and I together, and I would like to touch a little bit on that, so that I could have a little bit opportunity to introduce it. Cocoon focuses on identifying suitable living bio-based solutions using the sorry, now I'm all stressed out. Oh, wait, 5 minutes. Yes, suitable living bio-based solution used to produce material that replace fossil-based materials. Developing methodologies to for teaching biodesign to educators, students like yourselves at university, students at vocational schools like the one that I am in right now, and individuals that want to pursue their passions in lifelong learning. The object is to increase awareness to the most promising existing technologies globally and empowering people to find alternative ways to making more environmentally suitable products. Striving to implement green practices into education and innovation systems is the common denominator within the ally. I'll show you a picture of those in the next slide, so just be patient with me. And so we aim to structure a groundbreaking biofabrication method, comprehensive learning modules, which is kind of divided into 3 paths across countries between different target groups and between sectors, thereby bridging education, science, and industry. And approaching this by empowering learners to become agents of change. And bio-based prototyping, competence, enhancing problem-solving skills, creativity, agency, and crucial skills for rapid changes in the world. So that being said, not a small project, but very good in the whole. So here we have a portion of the group, which is a very good group. And if you would like to see further information about what we've been doing, we've already done 3 deliverables that are mapping the biodesign world, as we can say it, but you can go to cocoon.bio if you would like to get further information on that topic. Changing over to another subject that's more, will be more of the focus of today. So I decided to divide my talk into then and now, because I would like to tell you the story of the discussion topic of tonight, which is mycelium, and how I have experienced the change of mindset, sharing my 10 years experience of trying to find new solutions through innovation, research, and education. So please bear with me if you feel I am repeating something that you already know, but I'm hoping that this would spark a conversation, and maybe there will be an added something of what you already have. So, but I'm taking it somewhat from my perspective of the last 10 years. So I decided to divide the conversation topic of shifting mindsets to a greener future in 2 parts. Firstly, when our experience of the material was that it was lukewarm. Here I will ask you to go and look back 10 years and think of what people's mindset was towards the green shift at that time. That it had started in many places, but the regular Joe, it was a far-fetched future for them, and something that some of them could not even imagine. In the second, when we go that now everything is green, I will ask you to start with 5 years back, and we will trickle our way to the day-to-day. And so, without further ado, but first, before we start, I'm wondering if I could play a game. So I have put up a Mentimeter poll. And if you either log in through menti.com or use the QR code, it will take you to a questionnaire. I'm going to go over to the next slide, but you'll still have the QR code. So this is loading. How are you guys seeing me? Okay. Right, now I need to go. Wait. I need to. My brilliant technology strategy is failing. So let's move this to here. So then I can go and click. So the question is, mycelium, in your mind, is it masculine, feminine, or something other?
Bryndís.
Yes.
When we go into with the QR code, there is just let me just put in here amazing, and let me see if it no.
Doesn't it work? Darn it.
Just a minute, because I
really wanted technology to work with me today.
No, just a minute. We will. Can you go back so we can get the number again? We're going through the code, okay?
Yeah, the number is on top of the, let's see. What?
Okay, just a minute. Okay, so just a minute, okay?
Yeah. let's see if I can go here. And then because there's a thing here. So here, wow. All right, we can have a discussion instead. I was going to try to make this fun and in that sense, can do this maybe like that. So when you go into the QR code, wait, I'll do it on my phone as well. Does it open up? I tried it before and it opened up for me. So while everybody's trying to connect,
yeah, we couldn't.
Oh,
yeah, sorry.
Wait.
Yeah, I went through the net and it need not work. No, sorry.
Send a comment.
Oh, yeah, I see now that it's also sent a comment. Huh, maybe I had a timeout. Ah, that's a shame. Well, I can do the questionnaire even if we don't see the results, because how many are you there?
Seven.
All right.
Aqui, ó.
Okay. So my question is for you guys, when you think of the material mycelium, because I was told before that you've been introduced to it, you know it. Off the top of your head, do you think it's masculine, feminine, or other?
Other.
Other, more other. Okay. So if
Masculine? Both, more other. Okay.
I bring up the question because through our research that we just recently did in the Netherlands, this interesting question came up with the material. If we feel that it's masculine or feminine, what entities do we have connected to it? Is it warm and because that's the feminine energy that we feel, or is it strong and robust because we know that mycelium is a slow burner? And so I just wanted to shift this conversation over to something else, and then we would have seen maybe a cool poll or something like that, and now we have it documented that it failed. But so let's jump back 10 years. So I see the video of you guys, but you're not seeing that video, are you? You're seeing just my slide, right?
Started.
Yes.
It's a
Yes,
slide.
perfect. Okay, I was just wondering in that sense. So how it started in 2014. My colleague, well, a little bit before 2014, my colleague, and he's an industrial designer, was interested in this new material called mycelium. He's the type of person that loves reading about everything that's new and starts diving into interesting subjects. So when the Innovation Center of Iceland introduced a challenge in 2014 to find innovative ideas to give a boost to Skagafjörður, which is a municipality in the north of Iceland, where imagine a very vast, big area, and the biggest town that's there, it's called Sauðárkrókur, and has a population of 2,600 individuals. And the idea was to come up with an opportunity to provide more job opportunities, especially for the educated individuals that were raised in the area, but wanted to move back, but well, decided not to because they couldn't find job opportunities that matched their education. We entered the challenge with the idea that the area that had an old factory could be changed into a mycelium manufacturing base to produce boxes to replace styrofoam boxes that were used for export of fish out of Iceland. And we were selected as the finalists. The judges of the challenges found the idea super innovative, but maybe a bit too innovative. If we think 10 years back, the bio designer of today would not have been the individual that you would have thought of, but if you move this idea to the present day, the bio designer would have been a perfect fit for a location, well, not location maybe, but a factory of this sort. They went for an idea that had a direct connection to the local product that was already available. The process was a known entity, and it was something that they thought they could be done without much effort, a solution that was just around the corner. And we got a further grant research because people thought this was interesting back in the day. But then, and around 2016, we found that the market was not ready for this change. There was too many options that were easier, cheaper. They were just the way that they'd always been, and it was easier to do that way. And the question came up of why changing it. So we salted it, like we say in Iceland, like the way we would preserve bacalhau being shipped to Portugal, and we put it into storage. And let me see, what do I have? Yeah, that was supposed to be the next question, which was, wait, let me, I have like too many screens here in front of me. So my next question that I wanted to present to you here, because it was there's a shift that happened in this time. Let me just stop sharing and talk to you guys for a bit. So the shift that happens in that time, we have that 2014, we have up to 2016, where we're constantly trying to introduce this this new way, but people weren't really thinking of like that this would be a good solution or a perfect change for it. So a question that I wanted to throw to you guys before I jump to the year 2020, because when I was tracing back and trying to say like, okay, so how could I go back and say like about what we did and so on? Yes, we got a grant, and yes, we went to this design challenge, and we did a lot of things, but most from between 2014 and 2020 is patience. It's waiting, it's talking to people, it's getting to know individuals, it's trying to see solutions and how they are working together with the market and so on. And so my question now, to break up between 2016 and 2020, is to ask you guys what you think mycelium should be used for. There are a lot of companies that are doing innovative ideas, and there are universities that are, what do you say, doing research. Personal question to you guys, which I can't see because I see Carla and Miguel.
Sorry.
But,
oh yeah, yeah,
it's okay. But a personal question to you guys, like as a conversation, what do you feel like mycelium? What opportunities does it bring?
Este é um conceito, certo? Está para dentro dos cogumelos e não sei se é possível fazer substituir o bolacha ou cartão, cardboards.
Yes.
To replace cardboards.
Yeah.
What else?
O que é aquela empresa do micélio fazia?
Sabor, isolation.
Yeah. Isolation?
Yes, already in process, and a lot of individuals are researching it. Put the micro from room 1 to 1.111.
It's just to ask them to put the microphone so that
Hi,
we can
Americo.
listen to the students. Hello, Bryndís. Sorry, we are on the car on travel, but I was advising them to put the micro, then everybody can speak. Sorry for interrupting.
No, perfect.
We have it here.
We could not listen to their talks mainly, so they have to come up near the micro. Sorry. Okay.
Okay, you have to come closer. Yeah. So she's coming, okay?
Can you hear me now? No? No.
No?
Ah,
I could hear Carla better than.
o microfone está aqui.
O nosso microfone passa para ali.
Can you hear me now?
Again.
Yeah, I could always hear you very well.
Let's hear.
Jabra.
Try it again.
Hello?
Yes, much better.
Okay.
Perfect.
So we said to replace cardboard. Use it in like an isolation material. Could it replace like not ceiling tiles? I don't know. Walls.
All good ideas.
Yeah.
All very, very good ideas.
Mais. Could also replace some plastic objects, some specific ones, more robust shoes.
Yeah.
I don't know what the name is.
The sole of the shoe.
Yes, that's it. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, the sole of the shoe. And I think that some plastic materials that are used today to make some kind of objects could be replaced with mycelium ones. I don't know. Could it like vases, for example? Could it be? I don't know. See, yeah, for vases for plants, perhaps. Yeah. I think on top of my head, that's it. Eh?
Sorry.
To substitute aeroplanes and cars material. It's used on the doors of the cars.
Se não ela substitui tipo peças de roupas ou com malas.
Okay.
Tecido.
A substitute of the leather?
Substitute of leather, yes. That's already University of Utrecht, for example, they've been doing
it.
Yeah, they've been doing, and apparently, well, there is a car coming out to do this year or the next that has the vegan leather made from this product. So it's been very, very manipulated for that use, to be in that look. These are all good answers, and there is really no wrong answer. But I asked this question because we have a what's it called? The possibility of finding solutions, finding ideas, but what we found out 10 years ago and what has led our research is, where do you find the biomass? Where do you find the material that you're using for the production? And what are you using? And what we needed to, sorry, they're really talking loud here next to me. I can't even hear myself, that's why they're like, but the question comes up is, like, we don't want to exchange something that's supposed to be a green solution with a other carbon footprint. For example, in Iceland, when you look at how mycelium is made, you have the spores do connect with the biomass, and we have to import that. And then the way that the biomass is developed and it's taken out, you have a recipe from both Europe and the US that has material that is not local for us. So we have to grow it, or are we looking at something as a byproduct of something that needs to be manufactured in a different way? So we saw that there is a huge need to research the material that we had locally here, and to see if we could use the material that we have here in. So loud. That we have here locally. So there is a small population of industrial hemp production, but that's only been growing for the last 5 years. At the time when we started, it wasn't that big. We have, it's a very scarce land of growing opportunities. Once I went to no, I'm leaving that for the next one, because now I'm going to jump let's hop over to year 2020, and the conversation has changed drastically. Now we are talking about green solutions, green industry, plastic is being banned, and the consumerism way is being challenged in a big scale. So there's a huge change and shift that's been happening in then in just a couple of years. And even if you look at it from the point of view of where we are today, there's been a big change. The styrofoam that we'd been trying to replace had become a problem for people that wanted a solution to it. We know from having an idea when it was lukewarm that a big issue in the discussion of it was the material, just like I mentioned. Importing material to Iceland to try to make something new would not necessarily solve the problem. And we had no interest in starting a new negative carbon footprint. So that's why we started focusing on the biomass. And we unboxed our fish box idea and applied for another grant, one now focusing on the possibility of local production. What material in the surrounding do we have in abundance? Which in Iceland is like not that much. But if you take it in the scale of what you guys have in Portugal, that could be interesting. And even if we look at material that's discarded, something that we look at is trash. Those ideas and these questions, they were very interesting to us in 2016. And in continuation of the research that we were doing, we found a kindred spirit. We found another individual that was also looking into mycelium, but he is a farmer. So he was looking at it from a completely different aspect. Now the dialogue has started between individuals. Now people were actively looking for solutions and trying to see if this product that had become a bigger entity, a bigger mass, especially in the US, could be a solution for us. And so we tag teamed and made a group that entered an environmental accelerator, getting the opportunity to connect with the farmer community here in Iceland and getting to know better what they were farming, what they were discarding, and what material could possibly go into this use. Industrial hemp comes to play here. and to look at the potential as a product that could give us an answer to this very important question that we have. It needed to be local. Importing something, getting it from somewhere else does not answer the question of how can we make this? How can we produce it? We can make a factory to do anything, but where do you get the material to make it? And so our conclusion in that research and the cooperation was that in regards to hemp, the industrial hemp, it needed to be farmed here. It really, it needed to be focused and started just another side production for that one. We are lacking the land capacity, the heat and the facilities that other nations in Europe are having. But this is a continuous interesting question that we're always asking ourselves, is that can we take something that is local and will it not affect the chain? We can't take something that's already being produced for one side and shift it over to another, because then we're making a problem on the other side where we take it from. And what are we already making and using? So these were all legitimate questions that came up. Now in this point of my talk, I wanted to ask you guys to take 5 to 10 minutes, because I've already been talking for a while, and I want to give you a break from me, and I would love for you guys to talk together about products, not product. Now we move our mindset from the product and we move it to the biomass, to the materials, to the resources that can possibly be found locally. What could be used near you as a source of biomass for production? And I have a question to add on the topic. First time that I went to Portugal, I heard this, not story, but I heard that you guys have a flower that grows everywhere, kind of a bush or a tree, but you use the flower from it, but you discard the stem, the core of it. That becomes trash.
Okay, I'll have to show them, okay?
Yeah, so but in that sense, I was just trying to spark of what is already being used and what is so. So I'm going to give you guys the word, the microphone, and not be so.
Just a minute. No, this one.
Maybe I should have asked you guys to have the talk before I gave a possible solution.
Because this flower you can eat, but you don't do anything about that. Well, you can do a pesto, a marvelous pesto out of this, but everybody just.
What's the name of the flower?
It's like a erva daninha. It's bitter, yes, it is.
You can eat it,
but you can eat it, yeah. I have just shown them, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so now they talk about 5 minutes to see.
Yeah, let's give and even if people need to stand up and go to the toilet, I just realized that I think I've been talking for about 30 minutes.
Oh. So okay.
Let's say in 10 minutes at 1928.
Okay.
Okay. Let's
All right.
And I'm muting myself, but I'm standing here and I'm listening.
Good. They're gonna talk in Portuguese, and then they sum up in English for you. Okay.
Perfect. No, yeah. Make a brainstorm and have a talk.
Mhm. Okay, we have almost finished. It's just that Julia has to go to the bathroom, then she comes back. And I think that we have a pretty great list. Okay, so another one is coming.
Oh,
Hello. So first, my father has a company that works with waste, normally construction waste and gardening waste. And in my house, we do, como é que se diz triturar? Triturar?
We
compost?
Yeah, we compost the things, the gardening waste, and we sell it back to some farms, but it's too much for the farms to receive. So
Yeah.
we have a big volume of that in my house.
Yeah,
So
you have a excess amount of
Yeah,
production.
Yeah.
And it comes mostly from tourist houses from the gardening.
Yeah.
Another one we talk about was azeitona. Olive. The olive pits from the production of olive oil.
Yeah.
Another one
It's the flower that
almonds as well.
Oh yeah.
Shells.
Almond shells.
Yeah.
The flower that
The flower that you talked about. That is capuchinho.
I will try to remember that for future reference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Como é que se diz Sobral? Sobral.
Okay. And the cork tree.
Yeah,
Cork tree.
The cork tree.
Yeah.
Here, before summer, we cut some small branches, and to take the small cork, and the branches stay.
The wood is up.
It's wasted. And orange peels as well. We have a huge production of oranges here in Algarve, and we have 2 fabrics, I think, that produce orange juice, and some of those orange peels are put back in the farms for the trees.
Yeah.
E algas, como é que se diz?
Algae.
Algae.
Yeah.
And algae. We have in winter we have big waves that brings algae to the beaches, and we have trucks and everything in the beaches to clean that and put it in Algarve. That is our waste receiver here.
Yeah.
I think it's that. Salicornia.
A salicornia.
Oh yeah.
Salicornia.
Salicornia. Do you know what it is? Salicornia.
No, I'm not sure.
It's a plant. It's a plant that raises with the salt mines.
Yes.
It's the green salt.
It's the green. Yeah.
Exactly.
Salt. is used in the Nordic countries as a gourmet thing in the food.
I just didn't recognize the name.
Yeah.
We call it silicornia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And well, they in the production they use a lot of it, but the bigger branches and the roots they don't use it, so that's why as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect. I mean, you guys are just fantastic. It's a very good list of things that that could be excess material that could be used not just for mycelium or just something else. So it brings me back to my presentation, which I'm going to share again. So we started with how it started. And how it started exactly like the first conversation that we had. The thing that we wanted to do. We wanted to replace the styrofoam boxes that were used to export fish. They're still used today. And they just go straight to land waste. And we found out that that question was not the right question to answer. We found out that we needed to see further the material, what we can use, how we can use it, because now that all is green, how can we make the green impact? We make the green impact by not producing more of things. We make the green impact by also looking at these things that we already have, something that we discard. And for some places here in Iceland, for example, we don't have an abundance of maybe usable things, but maybe the bright minds of the future, for example, you guys that are sitting in the classroom, you make a connection in the future of something that could be produced or a method that could replace something that is existing. And so this discussion about material, we find when we figured out through our 10 years of patience and asking and looking into things and researching, is that the material is a very big key factor. Do we already have it? Are we using it? Are we discarding it? We don't want to have a negative impact in the production chain. So many factors that we need to consider into one solution. So the green of the now needs a very good look. So the conclusion that especially my colleague that you see here in the photo, he's doing a sterilization with the biomass to do an experiment with mycelium. His passion, his question has gone to the true cost of the material that we're using, and what is helpful with it. And we want to, it's very hard to go into this mass production phase when you can't really figure out what comes first, the hen or the egg, because you need the expectation of the market to do something, but then you also have to have the product to make it. And there's this cycle that comes in, and there's a balance that needs to be put in. So in our mind, we have started to ask ourselves the question of what country will be the first country or zone that will specialize in something, be it mycelium or another green solution, that will have the notch up to have the core capacity to take the industrial knowledge that we already have, because we can take something and design it and make it like look and the dimensions of it be the same, so it fits the industrial line, but they will have a closeness to the market, closeness to the products. So they will have the notch up for the core capacity of being close to something and then really elevating it to be a green solution. with this, these are my final thoughts of the presentation that I prepared, and I see that it is actually an hour, like discussed. But if you guys want to discuss more or have questions, I'm open for a discussion, and I will stop sharing. But my hope with the discussion of today was to spark a conversation igniter inside the group, because we need to constantly be talking about these solutions. The last 10 years have shown me that with patience and conversation, we're always figuring out new and innovative ways of figuring something new and great out. So I don't know how to say hi, thank you, this was me, but do you have any questions?
Questions? Okay. So while you're eating, I have a question. Because you asked us about the materials, our local materials. What are your local materials? You said something about hemp?
Well, so we have industrial hemp, which is being farmed, but because our growing season is quite short, it doesn't, the mass production capability of it isn't big enough.
Okay.
So, and there's no discarded waste of it to be able to use for mass production in that sense. So for us, we had a hope for lupine. It's a flower that grows like a weed. It's called the Alaskan lupine.
Okay.
Right, I will find a picture and show you guys.
Lupine.
Let me see.
When I see that this is what okay.
So I will share my screen.
I don't think that he's a flower. So. Será que é trus? Lupin. É trusso. Nós também temos consideração, isso não é venenoso. Isso é tremoso? Não. Lupin.
So it grows everywhere. Wait, that was not the right one. So this specific plant was introduced about 20 years ago we had it, but it was introduced in a mass amount.
Wow. Is it like a bean? Lupin bean. Is it a bean? Does
it turns into a bean at the end of the season. So the purple flowers, they turn into beans like that. And the thing with this one is that it grows everywhere. It has a really really easy time to what's it called, root. Like just anywhere, because the landscape that we have, it's a lot of valleys, rocks, and soil that is not optimal for growing a lot of flora and fauna. This one, the lupine, especially the Alaskan lupine, that was we had. I remember being 15 and going with my mother, and we got seeds, and we went out to the countryside. And you had the seeds, and we were like spreading them all over the place, because we have a problem with land erosion. Of the wind takes the top of the land, and then as soon as the small part that holds the top part together, then we start to have like valleys of death. But and also it was supposed to be a very kind plant, that if you had a birch tree, for example, that was growing next to it, it would want to like fade away and allow the birds to have the energy, but bind the soil at the same time. It did not do that. It did not feel like it should be moving out of the way for other plants that we were also planting down and growing. So yeah, about 20 years ago now, we had this campaign of putting this in areas, which was very positive, especially for the area where we have this mixture of soil and sand, and it binded it together. It puts carbonate in it, and it's a positive aspect for it. But that being said, I know a farmer that he has a very big part of land, and he every year starts fighting with this plant so that it doesn't take over the mountain. So it doesn't like just climb up. So he has this line that he goes and he just like plows over it, and he's trying to hold it, because the flowers that you saw in August, they become the bean sprouts. And what it does, it opens and it goes so each one of them has I don't know, maybe up to 10 beans. So each one, so you saw the flower of how big it is. So we're talking about each individual purple one turns into a bean sprout, and then it goes blah, and it can go like over around itself, and then it also goes like, wind is blowing me that way. So it can spread really, really, really fast. What we had hopes for in 2020 is that this could be our, wait, what was the word? I wrote it down. Cappuccino? Yeah. But that this could be our that we could use that next to industrial hemp. So we didn't need that much of the industrial hemp, that we figured out that we needed to produce to make it. But this, we could go out to nature and we could cut it down. And even like the Farmers Association was like, we will give it to you, take it, we don't want it. This is like, everybody's going, oh, but it's so beautiful, the field is all purple. And he's going like, yes, but it's killing all the other flora and fauna that we have and trying to do there. We, at that point in time, we had, it needed to be a stronger substance. It needed to be the cocktail of it needed to be stronger. We decided with going in the cooperation with a farmer, we decided to go into another direction and leave this one there. So that one has also been salted. Hopefully we can find a solution for that one in the future, but at the moment it's not the one that we would foresee in making, because the factory that we see and we want to make is producing a massive amount of boxes to be exported. And the point of it being exported is that it can go into landfill and becomes soil directly. The challenge, design challenge that we are facing now with the packaging is the material, the mass, the biomass. That's a huge challenge for us to be able to move this forward, because the fish industry here, which is very, very big, in comparison to, we only have like 380,000 individuals in Iceland. They are interested and they are willing to wait now. 10 years ago, nobody was willing to wait. Nobody was willing to produce something that needed to wait for a couple of days and then be baked and then so and so and so on. An additional challenge is food and safety, because if you're taking fish and you're exporting it, you need to have it in plastic or something, and we're trying to get rid of these things. So those are two challenges that we are looking at now. It's the biomass and it's the coating. But there is an individual here that is doing plastic out of seaweed. And it will be very interesting to see, because we are patient. We've shown that through the 10 years that we are very patient. It will be very interesting to see how the next 5 to 10 years will evolve.
Okay.
Ela já respondeu, era que tipo, quais eram os outros produtos que tinham estado a ver até agora e que não já respondeu.
Okay. Okay. Any other question?
That's okay.
Qual é, por exemplo, existe desperdício em todas as casas, certo? Desperdício orgânico. O que é que não é utilizado? É pela quantidade de diversidade que existe nesses restos orgânicos? Que isso não é usado? Vou fazer uma pergunta.
Okay.
Ou seria mais uma questão de logística, de ir buscar tudo isso, ou isso já é aproveitado aí para outra situação?
Okay. Dora is asking you if the material, the bio waste material that we have from home for each house, if it could be a material that you guys would use, you know, or is it hard to collect? Have you thought about it?
To be able to use in that sense.
Yeah.
Very good question. That question I will take home with me. Wait, let me get one thing.
Okay.
So, when we're talking about mycelium and waste, it is a very interesting question and very interesting idea. Possibly, to be able to use the waste, we would have to elevate the sorting of the waste even more. And that would be something that could be done, researched. So when you have the mycelium baked, you have like this here, which we know. But when we're talking about material, this is the purple plant. So you have the dried material that's been used in the common practice of today. You have something that is dried. So it would actually be a very interesting experiment to take waste and see how that process would go, because would you have to sort it better, dry it more, so you're adding maybe to a already 7-day process, are you adding 3 days to it? It could be very, very interesting. And then you need to figure out, there's a difference between, I don't know if you guys can see. Yeah. There's a difference between, like, for example, the experiment that we did was that we took a lot of biomass material and we shredded it down in different sizes and different shapes. And we were making the mycelium after that to see like how sturdy it is and how robust. So yeah, I think my answer would be, it's a very interesting question. I don't have the answer to it, but my educated guess would be that it could be something that would put an extra day or 2 or more to the process. And also the material that you use for it needs to be of a certain type, because you don't want also that the biomass continues to grow after you've done the process with, because we know that the mycelium stops with this, and the mycelium is the growing factor in this. This is not a growing factor. So if we have discarded apple, even if it's baked, it's gonna start decompressing. So that would be my first thought, but it would be very interesting to formulate a methodology behind it and just do the experiment with like everything and then start to funnel it down to see what works. Sorry, I talk too much. I have the tendency of talking too much. You need to tell me when to stop.
Tell me one thing. What do you do with the fish scales that you have of all the fish that you collect?
This the skin.
Yeah, the skin and this and the scales. The scale.
Well, we have a company, for example, that's called Kerecis, which is using products of the fish to make second skin. And we have different companies. At the moment, I don't have it on the top of my head, but we're using fish scales for it. So I have to be don't want to be saying anything wrong, but we do have Kerecis. It's an Icelandic, well, it's an Icelandic / US company right now. They got investors because the US sees a huge possibility in healing wounded soldiers, for example, and other individuals, burn victims. So they get a second skin with this fish material. Okay. But the first one was the most popular. The one was also in Söderkrókur, the same area as the 2014 challenge. That area is actually very interesting. We need to go there more.
Okay.
I need to look up my brain is a bit spent now, so I need to look up for your question and then get back to you on that one.
So do you have a last one? No? Okay, so let me put everyone bigger. And we want all to thank you for being here. This is
pleasure. Pleasure is all mine.
Thank you so much. It was really interesting.
Thank you as well, and I look forward to hearing further progress on interesting topics and discussions that come up from Carla next time I see her.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Have a very good evening. Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.